Thank you for joining us for one of our afternoon workshops for the day. I'm honored and thrilled to introduce you to our speakers from JIA. Joanne Matthias is a 26-year-old who loves to teach and inspire youth and young adults about personal development. She's a JIA Youth alum and has been facilitating workshops for youth around social and emotional learning and healthy relationships. She hopes to one day become a life coach with a large social media presence in order to create safe spaces for youth and young adults. Haley Joseph is a mama, Reiki practitioner, and a youth wellness educator, who is passionate about making holistic wellness accessible to Black communities. Currently, she's obtaining her master's in marriage and family therapy with the intention to serve Black families as licensed marriage and family therapist. We are so grateful to have you here today and learn from you. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Joanne and Kizzy. With that, I'd like to hand the floor to you.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you, everyone, for having us today. We are super excited to be here. I'm a little nervous, I'm not even gonna lie, but I'm really excited to share with you guys what we've been working on. So today we're gonna be leading with intention and remembering to pack our principles. Now, before we get into it, let me just introduce myself once again. Thank you, Julian, again. So like Julian said, my name is Joanne Matthias. I have been working with JAIA, just as I am Youth Empowerment, since 2016 as an intern. And I loved it so much. After I graduated the program, I decided to come back, and now I co-facilitate all over the tri-state area. And a fun fact about me is I am a YouTuber. So yes, and I'll pass it to Kizzy.
Thank you so much, Joanne. Thank you, Julian, for introducing us. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us here and being with us. My name is Kizzy. I'm also a facilitator for JAIA, and I've been with JAIA for almost a year now. And a fun fact about me is that I love music, and I actually had a radio show back in college. So before we dive into what we're going to discuss today, we want to talk a little bit more about what JAIA is. So JAIA stands for Just As I Am Youth Empowerment, and we are a nonprofit personal development leadership program for teens and young adults from ages 16 to 21. And we co-create with youth to build healthier communities by promoting mindfulness, mental health, and moral and ethical development. And our vision as a nonprofit is to develop conscious and confident leaders on a national and global level through having youth-led and adult-guided programming. And JAIA imagines a world where youth voice is valued and included for the advancement of healthier communities. So before we dive in what we are going to discuss today, I just want to give you all an overview of what we'll be talking about. So we're here today, as Joanne mentioned, to talk about the importance of setting intentions. So again, this is an overview. So we intend to explore what is an intention, what is the purpose of an intention, how to use one. We're also going to talk about universal life principles. So what are those, their purpose, how to use universal life principles, and how to combine the two, intentions and principles, so that we can create an intention for the rest of this year, 2022. And I'll pass it on to Joanne to lead us in our next session.
Thank you, Kizzy. So when we think about the word intention, if you have the ability to write in the chat, just let us know if you've ever heard of the word intention before or what an intention statement is. We'd love to hear from you. And the root word in intention is intend, which is short for intent. And what does that mean? To intend, which is a verb, is to have in mind as something to be done or brought about or planned. For example, we intend to leave in a month. Or to design or mean for a particular purpose, use, or recipient. A fund intended for emergency uses only. So what is an intention statement? An intention statement is a phrase that acts as a guide, aligning you with a specific desire or purpose. It's a written statement of what matters most, what we want to create, what we want to nurture or let go of. So based on whatever situation you're creating your intention around, that'll determine the tone of that intention. And if you go to the next slide, so why is setting an intention important? An intention statements create clarity, focus, inspiration, and guidance for our choices, behavior, and mindset. Intention statements help us answer questions like, what would I like to build, create, nurture? What's important to me? I know I want to be, for example, a content creator. So what kind of audience or what kind of content do I want to create? So these are the kind of questions that you can answer that your intention statement will, just help you find more clarity in what it is that you're doing. So we're gonna check this video out by, I believe her name is Kiarna Janae, and she talks about a little bit on intention setting and why it's important to her. So go ahead, Kizzy.
Awesome.
We're going to be talking all about how you can set powerful intentions. Setting an intention is a bit like setting a goal. However, setting an intention is putting our energy behind a certain action or situation. Setting an intention is like energetically deciding what you want the outcome or desired effect to be. Setting an intention also allows you to gain clarity and allows you to focus on one point. This therefore means you're activating your receptivity and obviously manifesting to call what you want into your life. Our energy is so powerful, which is what makes intention setting powerful. So when we have a good intention behind, what we are wanting to manifest or what we are wanting to gain out of our life, that brings such a different focus point on what it is you're trying to call in and increases the chances of us getting what we want as the desired outcome. So I like to set intentions whenever I sort of want to create something new. Maybe if I want to set the intention to focus more on self-love, maybe want to set the intention to be more healthy. One of my intentions for this year is to feel more grounded and secure. Going forth with that intention has manifested in certain experiences and situations that have brought me into those feelings of being grounded and secure. So, you can set daily intentions, you can set monthly intentions. I really like the idea of setting daily intentions because when you wake up in the morning, it gives you something to focus on. You basically get to state what you want your day to be like, rather than waking up and going out into your day and allowing things to happen. You almost like set the point for which your day will then, continue. So in the mornings, you can set the intention to claim happiness. That's one thing that I've started to do. It's basically taking control of your life. It's deciding, and it's putting your power behind your decisions and to create consciously. I also think that setting intentions is really great when you're sort of feeling stuck, or maybe you've been, repeating a certain cycle. Setting an intention to break out of that cycle, setting an intention to, move forward is a powerful way for things to start moving and for you to start calling into your life that which you want. So yeah, setting intention is amazing. I love setting intentions. I think setting an intention is a really important part of my daily routine.
Awesome. So intentions, as explained in the video, help define what we want to experience, specifically a goal. So moving on to the next slide. Some of you may be wondering, well, isn't the intention the same as a goal? Actually, the two are not the same. So a goal is an aim or desired result, whereas an intention is the theme of what you want to experience. Also, a goal is focused on the future, so the outcome, whereas an intention is focused on the journey. So what we want to experience on the path towards achieving our goal. So that's the present. Also, a goal is focused on external achievement, whereas intention is focused on inner principles, values, feelings, guidance. So goals are more outer external factors, whereas intention is more about the inner experience. And intentions, as mentioned below, are about the energy we put into a goal. So when we say energy, what we really mean is feeling. What is the feeling that we want to put into a goal? What do we want to feel? What do we want to behave? How do we want to act? So again, goals are about the results we're looking for, whereas intentions are about, again, the energy we want to put towards our goal. Also, if there are any questions throughout the session, please feel free to bring those up. So how exactly do we set an intention? There are actually 3 parts to an intention statement. So number 1, that's your declaration. That's just your opening phrase. So your declaration is, it is my intention to. The second part of an intention statement is our desire. And this describes specifically what you'd like to experience. And some questions that can help us gain insight on what our desire is are, what is it that you desire to experience? What do you want to see, feel, or hear? How do I want to get something done, right? So those questions really help us gain clarity about what we desire in reaching our goal. Lastly, the third part of an intention statement is the purpose. So this phrase, again, describes the overall experience. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to achieve this goal? So with that being said, with all these parts, these 3 parts to an intention statement, let's take a look at JAIA's intention statement, just to give you all an example of what that looks like. So our intention is, it is our intention to grow together, showing kindness, encouragement, and support, empowering ourselves and each other to live lives to the fullest and find inner peace. So again, let's break that down into the 3 parts of an intention. So we have our declaration. It is our intention to. We have our desire. So our desire, JAIA's desire, is to grow together, showing kindness, encouragement, and support. And for what reason? Why? This is our purpose, for empowering ourselves and each other to live lives to the fullest and find inner peace. So again, this is JAIA's statement, our intention statement. As you can see here, we have the declaration, our desire, which is to grow together, showing kindness, encouragement, and support, and our purpose, which is to empower ourselves and each other to live lives to the fullest and find inner peace. And also, as you can see, there are these yellow highlighted words such as kindness, encouragement, and support. And those words are actually principles. And Joanne will actually talk to you guys more about principles.
Thank you so much, Kizzy. So I wonder if anyone has ever heard of life principles or universal life principles. If you have, please feel free to use the chat and let us know. But just to let you know, universal life principles are beliefs and values that guide our behavior. They represent what's important in our lives. Principles are more moral values that set a standard for our behavior and attitude in life with regard to relationships, work, self-care, and personal and professional growth. They are universal because most cultures value them. For instance, values such as integrity, kindness, compassion, and honesty. You also saw some of the principles that were used in JAIA's statement. Universal life principles help us feel a sense of purpose, focus on self, set a standard for our behavior and attitude towards our relationships, works, self-care, and personal and professional growth, and defining what right and wrong means to us. And over here at JAIA, once you join, you get a principle that you have to study for the year. And so my 2022 principle is boundaries. And so I've been able to look at life and use my principle of boundaries to help me, figure out what's going on. And if I'm experiencing a hardship, how can I use the principle of boundaries to my benefit? How can I set boundaries in my life and in my personal relationships? So that is what universal principles are here to do, to help guide us. So now we talked about intentions and we also talked about principles. Now we want to talk about how they work together. So once you set your intentions, universal principles can be used as a tool to guide you through said intention. They reflect the values of life that can remind you of the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing and why you set your intention in the first place. Life principles clarify how we intend to act on our actions. So if I'm clear that it is my intention to create content for people who look like me and who also are interested in the same things, I want to make sure I can create a boundary around what it is that I want to talk about and want to share online versus what I feel like other people think I should be talking about or following said trends. I create that boundary and create that safe space for myself. All right. And so here we want you to take a moment to think of a goal. Think of 2022 and what would you like to accomplish in the year 2022? This could be around mental health, school, friendships, work, family, physical health. It really doesn't matter. It's what you want to focus on. So take about 2 minutes and think about what goal you want to focus on. And then if you can, write it in the chat and let us know.
Yep, so again,
I'll give you the 2 minutes now.
2 minutes.
So we have one response in the chat. So someone's goal is strengthening my bonds with others, family, and friends. That's a great goal. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
And if you have, make sure to write your goal down on a piece of paper in your notebook, because we're going to use it later. I'll pass it to you, Kizzy.
Awesome. Thank you, Joanne. So as Joanne mentioned, please have your goal down because we'll be using it to write our intention. So step number 1, we determined our goal for 2022. And now we need to ask ourselves, what is our intention for accomplishing that goal? And this is where we write our intention statement. So as mentioned earlier, there are 3 steps. 1, your declaration, 2, your desire, and your purpose. So we're going to plug all of these in to create your intention statement. So as you can see, again, we have our declaration. It is my intention to, and we insert our goal. And again, I'm just reviewing this first, and then we'll give you guys time to write your intention statement. So again, we have our declaration. It is my intention to, and then we want to insert our goal, right? So a goal that we have is to study more. And then we have our desire in order to experience blank, which is your desire. So what do you desire as a result of your goal? And then this leads into step 3, your purpose. So again, why do you want to accomplish this goal? Why do you desire this? So going from the example that we have, it is my intention to study more, again, our goal, in order to experience better grades, our desire, with the purpose of ending the school year strong. So again, that's our purpose, our why. So again, we're going to give you guys time to write your intention statement, but first let's provide you guys with more examples just to give you all more clarity. So Joanne, do you want to tell everyone about your intention for 2022?
Sure. So it is my intention to communicate effectively in my personal relationships in order to create a safe space for myself when engaging with others.
Awesome. Thank you, Joanne, for sharing. And here's my intention. So my intention is to sleep earlier in order to experience increased energy with the purpose of supporting my overall health and self-care, right? So we have our declaration, our goal, as well as our desire and purpose. So we're actually going to give you all about, let's say, 5 minutes to take some time and write your intention. So we're going to start that now, just giving you all that 5 minutes, and then we'll come back. I'll actually jump back to the previous slide just so you guys can get the overview of the intention statement and what that looks like. So let me see. Awesome. So yeah, just a reference for writing your intention statement. So we have about 4 minutes. I see some folks already sharing in the chat. That's great. And we're gonna read those after the 4 minutes. So again, once you have your intention down, feel free to type it in the chat. So we have about 3 minutes left. And I'll go back to the previous slide just to get that music going again. So we have about 1.5 minutes. Okay, we're gonna wrap up with about 30 seconds left. And again, if you have your intention, feel free to share in the chat. Okay, so I see some in the chat. Joanne, do you want to read those for us?
Absolutely. So, it is my intention to prioritize the healthier and beneficial relationships in my life with the purpose of bettering my mental health. I love that. It is my intention to strengthen my bonds with family and friends in order to experience everlasting connectivity with the purpose of maintaining these relationships when I move away. All right, well, safe travels too.
Thank you.
And let's see, what else do we have here? It is my intention to worry less in order to experience more positivity with the purpose of grading my quality of life. Yes, so rich. Thank you so much for sharing.
Awesome. Those were lovely intentions. And, it's really important that our intentions are detailed, right? So we get more insight about, our desire and our purpose. So again, great job with the intentions. So I'll pass it off to Fran.
Thank you so much, Kizzy. So congratulations to you guys for creating your little intentions. That's really important. I'm super excited. But we also talked about principles and how JAIA likes to give principles. So we're going to gift you with your very own principle that you can use for 2022 and beyond. So what I would love for us to do is, I would love for you to take a moment. I invite you to close or lower your eyes. And if you could just sit up straight wherever you are, sit up straight, feet flat on the ground, hands on your laps, and close or lower your eyes, whichever feels most comfortable for you. And I invite you to take 3 deep breaths with me. So inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. One more time. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And on this last breath, I really want you to feel yourself being grounded, allowing your shoulders to drop and just relaxing. Inhaling and exhaling. I want you to think of the year 2022. I want you to think of the goal that you created for yourself and the intention that you created with said goal. What support do you need in meeting this intention? What support do you need in meeting this intention for 2022 and beyond? Now, with your eyes still closed, I want you to pick a number from between 1 and 15. Trust whatever number comes up first for you. As soon as you have that number, you can open your eyes and jot it down in a notebook and also in the chat.
Awesome. Okay.
So let's see.
See in the chat.
I see a lot of numbers coming up. Okay. So I hope you're ready to get your principle. All right. So if you have number 1, you have the principle of acceptance. Don't try to understand everything. Sometimes it is not meant to be understood. Just accept it. So shout out to all the number 1s in the building. We love to see it. And number 2, the principle of integrity. It is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Shout out to the 2s in the building. And number 3, we have the principle of ownership. Nothing outside of you has power over you. You decide how you think, feel, and do things in your life. take full ownership, and become free. Hello to all the ownerships in the building. Number 4, we have creativity. Creativity is experimenting, growing, taking risks, breaking rules, making mistakes, and having fun. Next slide, please. And then, so number 5, we have awareness. Awareness is like the sun. When it shines on things, they are transformed. Shout out to all the 5s. Number 6, we have boundaries. That's me. So love yourself enough to set boundaries. Your time and energy are precious, and you get to decide how you use them. You teach people how to treat you by deciding what you will and won't accept. Number 7, we have forgiveness. Choose every day to forgive yourself. You are human, flawed, and most of all, worthy of love. Shout out to the 7s in the building. Number 8, we have perseverance. Perseverance is not a long race. It is many short races, one after the other. Shout out to the 8s in the building. Passing it on to you, Kizzy.
Awesome. Thank you, Joanne. So if you have number 9, your principle for 2022 is truth. The truth is still the truth, even if no one believes it. A lie is still a lie, even if everyone believes it. So shout out to number 9s. We see you. Number 10, your principle is acknowledgement. Real life isn't always going to be perfect or go our way, but the recurring acknowledgement of what is working in our lives can help us not only to survive, but surmount all difficulties. We see you, number 10s. Welcome. If you have number 11, your principle is self-worth. Your self-worth is determined by you. You don't have to depend on someone to tell you who you are. Shout out to number 11s. And we have number 12, vision. Clarify and believe in your vision and do everything with intention to turn it into reality. Shout out to number 12s. We see you. 13, if you have number 13, your principle for 2022 is surrender. Let go of your attachment to what you think should have happened. Surrender to what is and trust you're being guided towards something more profound. Yes, shout out to number 13s. Moving on to number 14, your principle is responsibility. You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the winds, but you can change yourself. Again, shout out to number 14s, we see you. And lastly, our principle number 15 is freedom. Every human has self-awareness, conscious, independent will, and creative imagination. These give us the ultimate human freedom, the power to choose, to respond, and to change. So these are JAIA principles. Again, just take note of the principle that you have, because we'll actually be incorporating this principle into our intentions. So let's take a look at what that can look like. So now we want to combine our intention and principle. So as mentioned, my intention is to sleep earlier in order to experience increased energy with the purpose of supporting my overall health and self-care. So now my principle is awareness. And so the task is to combine the two. So how can I bring awareness within my intention? So I sit down and think about, how can I bring awareness in my goal to sleep earlier? And so this is what I came up with in combining my principle and intention. So it is my intention to be aware of the time so that I can make sure I go to sleep earlier in order to experience increased energy with the purpose of supporting my overall health and self-care. Again, I know it's a mouthful, but we really want to be specific in terms of how we want to achieve our goals, how we want to feel in achieving our goals, how we want to act on achieving our goals. So again, my principle is awareness, and I want to be aware of the time so that I can achieve my goal of sleeping earlier. And Joanne will also share her intentions with her principal. And again, we're going to give you guys time to also create that. So again, Joanne, would you like to share yours?
Yes, thank you so much, Kizzy. So originally my intention was, it is my intention to communicate effectively about my feelings and my personal relationships in order to create a safe space for myself when engaging with others. And since my principle is boundaries and I mesh those two up, it is my intention to set boundaries in my personal relationships in order to create a safe space for myself when engaging with others. So I hope you guys can see kind of what we did there and how we were able to use our principle as a form of support and a tool with our intention statement. So we're going to give you about 5 minutes to take your intention and your new profound principle and merge them together. And let's see what you can create.
Awesome. And also, if you need us to refer back to the principal slides, please let us know in the chat.
Yes.
About 3 minutes left. About 2 minutes left. 20 seconds. Okay, we saw some folks sharing some amazing intention statements in the chat. Let's read through them. So going up, B says, it is my intention to be creative in strengthening my bonds with family and friends in order to experience everlasting connectivity with the purpose of maintaining these relationships when I move away. That was mentioned earlier. Thank you, B. Jordan, it is my intention to be responsible with my personal energy in order to prioritize healthy and beneficial relationships, to experience more positivity with the purpose of bettering my mental health. Joanne, do you want to take on the last one?
Sure. In Jax, we have, it is my intention to strengthen my confidence and strengthening my bonds with people around me to form a trusted and trusting community. I love that. I love that. These are all so delicious, and I'm sure that every single one of you have such amazing intentions. Thank you so much for doing this. So yes, congratulations. Congratulations on setting your intentions. And remember that you can do this at any point in time. It could be daily, monthly, and yearly, whatever it is that you want with whatever goal that you have in store. And now with your new principles, you can always, pull them out and help yourself out at any time. So I'm so excited for you, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so thankful. Both Kizzy and I are very, very, very grateful that we got a chance to share this with you, and we hope that it's a gift that just keeps on giving.
Yeah, and you all can have your intentions in your room on a post-it note. You could set it as a reminder on your phone, just again to remind you of the goal that you set to achieve this year. And feel free to share your intention statement with your peers and family members to help you, to keep you accountable in achieving those goals. That's also super crucial, right? Accountability.
Yes. Also, too, I'm sorry, because I just wanted to add one more thing. Please be sure to research more on your principal as well. Google is free and it is your friend. So please look up on your principal to see in what other ways it can come up and show up and support you in life.
Yep. And we'll also be sending you all the slides with the principles so you can refer to them as well. So again, we're wrapping up, but again, it was so wonderful to read your intentions. And we ask that you keep in touch with us, keep in touch with JAIA. So one, please fill out your feedback form before you leave. You all will receive that. And also follow us on social media. We are at JAIA Youth Empowerment on Instagram, TikTok. I didn't know we had a TikTok, but I'm going to check that out afterwards. We're also at JAIA Youth Empowerment on YouTube as well. And on Facebook, we're at JAIA Youth. Also, you have the chance to win a $50 gift card. And you can do that, have your chance to win that by filling out our Warriors Program survey, and it's in our Instagram bio link. And again, our Instagram is at JAIA Youth Empowerment. And lastly, intern with us. We have amazing programs, and Joanne will actually tell you guys about what we do at JAIA.
Yes. So for our first program, we have our Mindful Leaders Institute program, which is a 3-year program where the first year you focus on personal development, learning more about yourself and what you need supported. The second one is leadership, being able to take what you've learned in the previous year and give back to your community. And the third year is career focus. What is it that you want to do, and how can JAIA support you in that? And then we also have our Healthy Minds, Healthy Vibes internship, where we teach young people about the importance of mental health and what support they might need, and some good coping and healthy coping mechanisms to help when they're experiencing any mental health challenges, such as anxiety, depression, and things of that sort. So if you're interested in joining these programs, 10 out of 10, would highly recommend. Please go to www.jaiyouth.org and you can find all the information there.
Thank you, Joanne. We'll be sending a resource packet later in the day, and it will tell you guys information about, again, our programs such as the Mindful Leaders Institute, and we'll also include the principles in that as well. So one last thing before we go, Joanne.
So yes, at JAIA, we have our mantra. This is one of the things that we are extremely good at, okay? A mantra is just something that you tell yourself over and over again every day until it sticks with you. And even on our shirts, I don't know if you can see, but we have parts of the mantra on our JAIA shirts just to remind you of just how amazing you are. So in this moment, Kizzy and I are filled with gratitude, and we'd love to send some love over to you and remind you that you are powerful,
and you are successful,
and you are loved,
you are creative,
and you are worthy,
you are good enough,
just as you are.
just as you are.
I forgot to mention, and you are also smart enough.
Yes, you're all of those things, just as you are.
Just as you are. So we thank you so much for taking your time to sit with us and go on this journey with us. And we're just really grateful for all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.